Okay, what is going on, WolfPack? It is another Friday afternoon, and we have some really cool things to share with our community this afternoon. So, just wanted to say hello. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Friday. If you're in my time, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I know some of you are later than that, some of you are earlier than that, but I just appreciate you showing up for our lives. And of course, if you're watching this recorded, thanks for tuning in. Our goal is very simple. It's to grow our community, to grow our viewership, to grow our holder count, to grow our token. This is a meme community, which means it is a community. It's based on the relationships that we have with one another. And today I wanted to touch on a little bit what a meme community like this actually is similar to. Now, obviously, I can use different metaphors or analogies, but I was watching something that my wife was actually watching, which was she watches a lot of YouTubes about gardening. And so the type of gardening I'm talking about here is what they call food forests or permaculture. And essentially, what people do is they can take a small vacant lot and just plant certain types of crops in a way that kind of mimics nature, but also produces the maximum amount of food for a garden like that. And so the interesting thing, I was listening to a lady yesterday, and she was growing different things. She was talking about how they were actually planting plants right among each other with different timelines in mind. So some of the harvests are basically to be harvested every year. You plant them and harvest them. It's a shorter term thing. You plant it and eat it short term, and you have to do it every year. Others are things that, have more of a 10, it's not going to be for 10 years before you actually even get any fruit, or maybe 3, 4, 5, 10. And there's actually some of the benefit of some of the trees is going to take like 30 or 40 years. So she was going over just the horizon of how all of this works in nature. You've got the time horizons, the short term, something that you can get a very short term benefit from. And then you have that 40-year horizon of those trees that by the time they actually become a canopy, right, for that garden, it's going to be, I probably won't be around, right? It's going to be 40 years from now in the future. And I thought that was kind of fascinating because in many ways, looking at a business, and it could be, we could literally talk about any business, but I've said it many times before that our community, our token is a meme token, but we're running it like a business. We do have a registered LLC in the state of Florida. We are looking at ways to actually generate income to pay for the things we need to pay for. And as a community member, you're contributing to the community. Your goal is to help support the token to be more valuable, most likely, and to make profits on that. You get a 10x, 100x, whatever that may be, and you're going to be happy that you did. So, but it is an ecosystem, like a jungle, like a little mini jungle. And it's just so amazingly fascinating to hear about how, in a garden or a jungle or a farm like that, how the different plants, their roots actually intertwine and their roots communicate. There's actually like a fungal connection, which is fungus helping them to share the appropriate nutrients, and different plants actually release hormones to stimulate other plants. So there's actually this symbiosis of these different plants, completely different, to help each other to grow. And in an economy that's actually very similar. So please, everybody knows that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes, educational purposes only. But I do think that in business, it is similar to nature. If you look at it, you look at, there's room for everybody. There's room for many different people. There's room for many different roles. You have the big fish, the small fish, and short-term time horizon, longer-term time horizon, and also the diversity. The diversity in that garden is part of, in their mindset, is part of the beauty of it, the flavor of it. So there's a lot of families that actually I've been looking at, they could have a quarter acre and they literally produce enough food to support their entire family on that little tiny plot of land because of the diversity of things that are being harvested all year round. And so it just made me think about SWP as a group. We have massive diversity among our holders, our community members. Just go into our Telegram. If you're new to our community, go into our Telegram and you'll see there's diversity of where everybody is from. I'm sure that there's shrimp and whales in the room. There's people with different backgrounds, different jobs, different age groups. And we're like that, those roots of the plant system working together, attracting different pollinator, insects, birds, animals, and we're creating this jungle, this ecosystem of everybody benefiting from this the existence of this garden. So I'm likening our community to a garden. And I wanted to share a little bit of the diversity that we're creating. And so this diversity is the opposite of being the one trick pony. I don't know if you've ever heard of a one trick pony, but that's basically in a circus, the little pony that had literally one trick that it could do. And it would come out, they would take out that pony, it would do its one trick, and then it would go and relax. And the people either liked it or they didn't like it, but that's it. That's the only thing that pony knew how to do. And it was kind of a win or lose. That's all I can do. And in some ways, that's the opposite of diversity. It's also the opposite of having the potential of adaptability to adapt to the given market. And our goal is to, we've been accused of being maybe a little bit of scattered, a little bit of jumping around from here to there. And but at the same time, we're adapting to a different market. We're adapting to market messages. And there's many of the things that we are now locked into that give it some time. Give it some time. And I think you guys will be probably pretty shocked or impressed to see what the outcome will be. I want to touch on a couple of those things. And so just let me give you a couple of videos that we've created. Now, I've been doing these burn live streams on Fridays. And part of it is that, it's a week has passed. You may be wondering if you've been in the Telegram or haven't been following, some maybe haven't followed very much, like what has the community actually done in a week's time? Is there anything that's been accomplished? I wanted to share with you a couple of things that have been accomplished just so you can realize that, you've got to remember we have full-time staff members. We have a full-time animator, a full-time administrative partner that's also now been helping us with some of these videos. We've been doing a lot in just the span of 1 week. And I feel like in many ways we are working that garden. And a lot of times you work the garden in the winter time, you work the garden in the early spring, you work the garden in the spring, and you just look up and in the summertime, when you've done all of the pre-work, you've done all the work up front, it can literally grow before your eyes, right? This is growing at, off the charts as you see it. And that's it. A lot of times things take work in advance to be successful. So I want to share with you a couple things. We've made a couple of videos, and let's just take it and you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
In a galaxy not so far away, two titans clash over the fate of the universe, or at least the federal budget.
Elon, your rebellion against my big beautiful bill is treason. I shall revoke your subsidies faster than you can say SpaceX.
Treason? I merely pointed out that your bill adds trillions to the deficit and cuts EV tax credits. Also, I have some enlightening files about your past associations.
Lies. You're just bitter because I called you out on your Trump derangement syndrome. Sad.
Careful, Donald. This stick holds truths that could shake the very foundation of your empire.
Initiating defense protocol. Initiating defense protocol.
Ouch. That's how I got this shiner. Not from a punch, but from my own creation.
Ha. Even your robots are turning against you.
All right. So I don't know what you guys thought about that, but this was written basically right when that was in the news. It took a little while because actually we wrote the script like the day it happened. If you followed the news, there was a falling out between Elon and Donald, or the president, and we wanted to do something about that because we knew that that's like top of mind for so many people. And our goal, as you know, we've been very explicit about, our goal is to get to go viral, to get something that gets millions of views, and that would be the way that you get the attention for the community. And we'll be able to then introduce the community to all of the different ones that are that respond to it. I referred back to, this is a real life story. It's not something that's unique. Actually, there's lots and lots of examples, but I just explain the story so you get an idea of what we're strategically trying to accomplish. There was a company that was participating at an event with Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary was just going on about, you need to do videos every day, you need to create content every day, you need to post every day, and basically that's how you're going to break through and get your audience and go viral and get that breakthrough. And the company actually hired someone to post videos, and they were literally they had done hundreds of videos. In this case, the guy that they hired had been there for over 2 years, and he's posting like every day. He did a video. It was something with a German Shepherd. I didn't see the video, but I'm just hearing them tell about it. He did some kind of video with a German Shepherd. It got like 2.2 million views. He gets a phone call from Good Morning America. Think about it. Think about what that means. It's basically now, instead of you as a community, we're desperately trying to get in front of anybody with a large audience. Please, please follow us, listen to us, talk about us, say something about us. And they want to be paid tens of thousands of dollars to whisper your name. You get a viral video, and Good Morning America is calling you to interview you on their show. That's what happens when somebody, is able to go viral, simply because these large media outlets know that everybody knows this thing. If it's an actively viral video, everybody knows about it. They talk about it to make it so that they get the connection, right? They're connected to something everybody knows about. And so, that's the point. That's why we did that particular video. I'm going to share with you one more video, which is actually another one in our educational series that we've been doing. We've been doing some of our content under just the brand name of Naked Crypto. Naked Crypto is basically just a basic educational 101 content series about learning about crypto. Again, we know for a fact, I mean, I can say this with almost, adamant certainty, that when the bull run fully takes off and crypto starts to really, really go crazy, how many millions of people are going to be Googling in YouTube, Google, ChatGPT, whatever? They're going to be asking questions about crypto. And there are going to be some short videos that explain things showing up as the results of their search. Those videos will go viral. So please don't just assume that, oh, we did a video, we did an educational piece 2 weeks ago and it's not 1 million views yet. This concept doesn't work. You have to remember the timing. We're not in that crazy bull run yet. So there's not millions of people Googling like what is Bitcoin or how do I buy crypto? Like they're not doing that yet. They do that in the heart of the bull run when they're getting that fear of missing out. And they're just like, I'm hearing about these people making so much money. Let me Google or go on YouTube and figure out how to do that. And that's when basic educational videos pop up. And like I said, many of those ones from the last cycle have millions of views. Clearly, people are just searching for those basic terms. So let me share with you a video that we did. And this is just one now at this point where we have a lot of content, which is the basic educational ones, besides the 3-hour seminar that was recorded on Saturday last week. So let me share with you this other video.
Hi guys, it's Shayna here from SWP, and today we're going to be breaking down gas fees in simple terms. Think of using a blockchain, like using a toll road. Every time you buy and sell crypto, you get charged a small transaction fee. This is called a gas fee, similar to paying a toll road fee. These fees are then used to compensate validators who confirm and process your transactions on the network, similar to a toll road, right? Every time you use the toll road, you pay the fee, keep it maintained, and the traffic flowing. So gas fees are measured in GUI, which is a tiny fraction of Ethereum, and the amount you pay will depend on how busy the network is. So in other words, if a token is pumping and you're trying to buy or sell on that token, you're going to end up paying more gas fees. So I'm going to give you 3 tips in how to manage your gas fees. 1, you can time your transactions, meaning buy or sell during low periods of activity. 2 is you can use layer 2 solutions like Arbitrum or Optimism to lower fees. 3, you can also set a limit on your wallet, a gas fee limit on your wallet to control the amount of gas fees that you spend. So guys, remember, understanding how gas fees work will help you navigate through the crypto space more efficiently. Stay curious and keep exploring. Let's go, WolfPack! Awoo!
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Amazing job, Shayna. So awesome. Have to say, she explains it so fluently and clearly. And if you're brand new to this subject and you see Shayna explaining that, I mean, it's awesome. And hopefully you'll keep clicking for more follow-up videos about these different subjects. So you know, average person has no idea what gas fees are and how it works or why you're paying gas fees or why it's called gas fees. They don't know any of it. So she gave a great explanation. And so just imagine, 100 of those videos like that with different, it's not just Jaina, but different community members, different core team members are creating content. If you're interested in helping out, definitely let us know and we'll see what we can do about just creating that content that's going to get the viewers, which is different. Again, this is a different strategy than many of the other tokens that you're probably familiar with. Most tokens strongly believe that you have to be on Spaces and on the Telegram literally 24/7. And while that's really awesome if a community is excited and coming together a lot, that is awesome. That is great. But it's also, time consuming for if you have community members that are able to come in just a little bit. It's not super easy. And it's also, you've got people that the normies that we're trying to reach, we're trying to get a slightly different group than the ones who are already on X and hanging out 24/7 on X and in Spaces or in Telegram. We are going after the normies that do not currently trade crypto, that we would be the, I hate to use the expression starter drug, but it's kind of a funny expression. We would be a starter drug for them to get into crypto. Basically, the first entry point where they don't know anything about crypto, and this is the first one that they learn and they become. The concept behind that is just because of the fact that we could be the first token a lot of these people buy, that they're not going to be constantly trading our liquidity and just constantly selling and pulling like the true degens will be doing. We know we love the degens. Many of us in our community are degens, but at the same time, as a community, it's just hard. And there's something to be said for that person who's just simply understands the basics of buy a token and just hold it, right? That's what we would love to get more of, those long-term thinkers to join us. And especially if they're joining us based on the fact that they are, they're new to this concept, and they're just going to come in and hold it and see what this project can do for them instead of constantly day trading and playing it as a game. So we're super happy about that. I want to share another concept that is coming along, and that is we noticed that there was a series of videos that had, in a very, very brief period of time, ended up getting millions of views. And this, when I say millions, I mean 10 to 12 million views on some of these videos. in a relatively short, we're not talking about, oh, it's been out there for 10 years. We're talking about in a relatively short period of time to get, some of them 2, some of them 5, some of them 8, some of them 12 million views. By any definition, we're talking viral. This is our goal. This is what we want. So basically what we're doing is we're copycatting. We're trying to copycat some of the videos that have a style which is kittens or cats explaining things. You may have seen the one I'm talking about. Is a whole series of cats explaining things. And the one that we saw first was the cats are explaining different mental, I don't want to say mental disorders, mental things, whether it be what is OCD, what is autism, what is depression, what is anxiety, that type of thing. And kittens are explaining it in a level of, I would say, about a 2 to 3 year old's level. And it's a combination of being just funny, different, interesting. People that love kittens, they're going to watch kittens no matter what. And there's a certain meme ability on it. So we're literally basically saying, hey, if you got 11 million views, I'm going to copy you. Literally, I'm going to copy you as closely as humanly possible. Except, of course, in our case, we're describing, educating on crypto. So let's see. I've got 3 of them here for you. So hopefully you're ready to see some really cool videos. Huge shout out to our team, especially to April, for making these videos. Really appreciate all the hard work that you've put into this. Definitely, taking the ball and running with it when the community and the team's like, hey, this is a great idea. Let's do this. Sometimes the truly successful person or business, the thing that makes it successful is not having great ideas. It's the speed of implementation. You can have ideas, but if they never get implemented, it's not worth anything. But if you have great ideas and you're quick to implement those ideas, that's when things happen. And this just shows this went from idea to these 3 videos in a matter of like 3 days. Seriously, like from idea, conversation to having 3 videos. We had the conversation about these videos on Monday at our core group meeting. I have 3 videos right now. You may have seen them posted already. So here we go.
Kitty have token. Kitty stake token. Get more token. Life good. Stake more token. Kitty tell Wolf Boy. Cat stakes too. Cat's happy? More token for all. Devs release more tokens. Kitty richer? No price go down. Why? It's market correction. Kitty holds bag.
Wow.
Kitty angry. Token more. Value less. Burn tokens. Kitty and wolves burn token. Less token. More value.
Okay. So hopefully you got that. Now, by the way, I've never jumped in a rainbow colored parachute and added tokens to the supply. By the way, just as a note, if you thought that happened, it didn't actually happen. But the educational portion of it, if somebody gets it, that if a dev were to add to the supply, which again, there are tokens that are increasing the supply. There's actually there's plenty of them. If you just look into any token you're buying, most of them on the Solana blockchain that we know of are just, it's a fixed supply that's created on day one. But there are tokens out there in different blockchains, and the supply is actually increasing. But I think it was for somebody to see that video, maybe to understand, like, what does it mean to increase the supply, inflationary, versus burning tokens, deflationary, and to have that explained by kittens. So pretty good. All right, let's see here. What's the next one? Here we go.
What is Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is digital gold. No bank, no middlemen, just code, just freedom.
Where it go? Can Kitty hold it?
Bro, no need to hold, just need to own. Bitcoin equaled money, but boss level.
Exactly.
Wow. Hello, bank. Kitty will send money to cousin.
No, bank closed. Try again Monday.
Bank useless. Kitty will try Bitcoin.
Wow, I got it. Thanks, cousin. No bank, no delay, no begging.
Freedom. Now Kitty travel. No cash, just phone. Crypto is future.
Okay. I love it. So again, educational, somebody who doesn't understand the concept that it's Friday right now. Your bank's probably closed. They might be open for a couple hours on a Saturday, but you got holidays, you got things, and understanding that basic element of it. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see this one here.
Not wallet. This is phone. Wolf Boy say this is wallet. Digital wallet. What is wallet? Kitty ask, where my money go? Kitty buys SWP. Kitty shock, this is not wallet. This is phone. Wolf Boy say this is wallet. Digital wallet. Wallet, not leather. Wallet is at key, not real key. Key is secret code, long code, powerful code. Kitty ask, what key open? Blockchain! Wallet don't store token. Wallet access token, like key to invisible vault. Kitty laugh. When Kitty lose key.
All right. So I love it. I love it. So again, education, people get to hopefully, understand at that very, very, very basic level of what is a wallet? What is a digital wallet? So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Feel free to share. Just so you know, our community is open to feedback. So, especially if you have anything that would be considered constructive criticism, please, if you would be so polite as to send us messages directly about it, and we can maybe explain things and or take to heart some great feedback and advice. We're absolutely open to feedback and advice. We prefer not to, publicly throw out, you should do this, you should do that. And simply because it could be understood as FUD, you've got to remember that a lot of times we have brand new people kind of brought in, they're just checking things out. And if there's too much of that, should have done this, should have done that kind of thing, it becomes a little bit where it could be FUD. They could feel like, oh, these guys don't have it together. They don't know what they're doing. And that's not the case. We know constructive feedback is always important. And it's just a matter of sharing with each other but preferably things like that. We'll do it in private. Send us a DM, and I promise you send me a DM, I will answer it and I'll let you know our thoughts on it so that you don't feel like absolutely that you're not being ignored as a community. So I want to share with you guys another really, really cool thing here. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share let's see here. If I can find the link to something that's coming up here. Oh, here we go.
Ooh, hi guys.
That wasn't quite what I was meaning. Let's see here. I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. Maybe thanks. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. This is a site called Vivi, and Vivi is has collectibles, which are NFTs. It's kind of a blockchain-based system. It's something that a lot of the big dogs are thinking is going to become really, really big. So we mentioned it, I think, on our last space that we actually are coming out. So here you see, a comic of some traditional comics, digital comic, $4.99. These are the classics. This is Marvel Comics. What we are doing is we are doing one of these for Wolf Boy. So I wanted to share with you guys just where this is. The actual script of the comic has been written. The story, it's kind of the origin story of Wolf Boy. We're super excited to partner with some other communities, and we're partnering with Randy on this piece of it. Super excited to really diversify what we're doing. But we're going to have a comic book. It's going to be available here on Vivi as soon as it's finished. And we are working to do the actual graphics ourselves in-house with our current animator that helps us with our cartoons. If that comes together, it's going to be, basically just like these ones that you see here, just like the traditional comics, digital comics. And it will be available. The value of it for us is partly that we get out there in front of, as you can see, the Vivi is a massive site with, I don't know, millions of people that have access to it. But it's also to, do something fun for the community. The comics are affordable between $5 and $8 per comic. So if you wanted to, when it's finished, buy a copy, just be aware that that actually does help the community because it gives a portion of the proceeds goes to our community, and that's going to help actually offset expenses because that's what we're trying to do. So the diversity of what we're trying to do and creating, keep that in mind, that is one of them is now the doing the comics, and that is in the works. We have the script. We are working on the actual drawing of this. I wanted to share another thing with you. Let me see if I can find that tab. Here we go, on-chain wallet. I have mentioned this before, but as you can see, this particular site right now is onchain.money, onchain.money, and you could go there right now. Our own token is not on there. This is coming soon, so our token is coming soon, but just wanted to show you guys the simplicity of what we're dealing with. I've tried to express it in the past. There's these, 8 different projects that are on there in the different blockchains. Solana blockchain will be one of the next ones that's coming out. And then you will be able to go and literally click a simple link. So I'm going to click on this one here. I'll click on Fine. I don't know if you can see the URL up at the top. So hopefully you can see the URL. Oh, maybe I'll click on this. Here we go. It says buy.onchain.money and then / it's the name of the project. And it's that easy. So literally that link could be shared. So for us, it might be / SWP, and people can go in. I'll say, I'm going to buy $10. And then people could literally go in and click on it and buy the token. In this case, I think this is about to send me. Yeah, you can buy a whole bunch of Fine tokens with a credit card. And it has a wallet that it created for me using an email address. So the simplicity could not be greater. This literally, you don't buy gas. You don't have to install a wallet. This is your wallet. On-chain is your wallet. So the level of simplicity is literally as high as it could be. It's as foolproof as you could possibly make it while still being functional. Literally, you go in and it made it that simple. So I'm just blown away by by the simplicity and the cleanness of this user interface. So you create a wallet with an email, you can send and receive tokens in a really simple way. But the most important of this is the on-ramping function that I just showed you. Super, super powerful. So this is what we believe is going to be something that's going to be a big deal for us coming soon. And that's where these videos, whether it be the kittens or the education or the comic strip, that you could have a simple little URL that literally takes it to it's not one click, but it's very few clicks to just get right to putting the credit card or debit card information and getting the token. In the near future, they're going to have 77 different payment methods in the system. They're currently working with primarily just the debits and the credit cards right now. So they're going full speed ahead. This is something that's been in the work for over 3 years, 3 to 4 years that they've been building that technology. Currently, nobody has what they have, but it gives us a foregleam of what the future looks like. The future is digital, and the future is easier and easier and faster and faster. We know that. We know that from all the other technology that we deal with. So working on that. Okay, so with that, we're all wanting to see a little bit of burn action. Again, we are burning the tax that comes in from our community. So, when we go in each week, we go in and we do a burn. And so I'm going to go in and do the burn for this week's tax that we have. So let me go in and going to share my screen, and we're going to go in and do our burn for the week. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so let me make sure I'm logged in. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. I am on the Slurf tools. Don't ask me where the name of this toolbox came from. It's Slurf, and here I've got the tokens that are going to be burned. So let me see if it's anything additional that's come in here. So we've got close to 34,000 tokens. I want to burn 100% of them, and I'm going to push burn. Let's see what happens. Confirm burning. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. This is on SoulScan. You guys should be able to go in on the token wallet and see that. There we go. 33,913 are currently burned. I'm going to go back to Slurf. So now our current supply, circulating supply, is 98,494. So under 98.5, less than 98.5 million. So please be aware that I am fully aware that there was very little volume so far this week, which is a good thing because it wasn't a lot of people selling, because obviously you get the volume when people are selling or buying. So we didn't have a lot of loss and we didn't have that much of a gain. We're roughly at the same market cap we were. But just from any of those buys and sells, there was a little bit, and it's now been burned. But a big week could put us to under 98 million tokens. We started, if you remember, at 100 million tokens, and we are currently at 98,494,000 tokens. So again, it's a deflationary token. Every week counts. And it's exciting just to see as we go that we're going to keep seeing this burn continue to chisel away at the circulating supply. We don't know where it's going to end, but at the end of the day, we can estimate that it could end up where we're actually fractionalizing, which fractionalizing means that just like with Bitcoin, very few people go and buy one Bitcoin, right? They would end up buying a little tiny piece. Well, it's the same thing. They could end up buying a fraction of SWP. So that's what would happen if we just continue to go up in value and we keep going down in circulating supply. Eventually, people would be buying a piece of one. That's just fascinating to think of that as being a possibility. But our goal is to be able to continue to burn, and that will, eventually, I think, will turn heads, because many tokens out there, they're literally fixed, which just means that the only way for anything to benefit is more money to come in. That's it. That's the only way for that token to go up, is more money comes in. In a project where the supply is shrinking, you could have the same amount of money and have the value going up because the supply is shrinking, right? So the actual benefit for the community is that it's making potentially things easier and easier, because we're deflationary at the same time as we're pushing eyeballs to the project. That's our strategy. That's our goal. And hopefully you agree with it. Hopefully you can stay a WolfPack member and follow us, cheer us on, and do that howl like Shayna did. I really appreciate everybody coming in today. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Friday. Feel free to keep in touch on the Telegram. We will periodically be popping in and doing VCs in the Telegram. So feel free to go on in there and just see if anyone's in there, even just a couple of people hanging out and having a conversation. It's awesome. And you're able to discuss crypto and the project and any of your thoughts and ideas in that Telegram. We're absolutely happy to hear, everybody's thoughts and ideas. Hopefully you have a great week. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.